Alrighty then, guys. So Honda's NC750X. We're gonna do a first review. Obviously, Jono is moved over to Boksburg. So obviously, with the whole move and everything like that, he's not available to do these videos at the moment. So I'm gonna give it the best shot I can. As audio might be a little bit rough. I'm gonna try my best, guys, but yeah, so Honda's new NC750Xs. We're lucky enough that we've got a DCT version of this bike as well as the manual. The manual's actually behind me at the moment. Now I'm on the DCT. I've got a good friend of mine was just testing out the manual for me while we're doing this out in the cradle. Always the cradle. We love the cradle. You guys know we love the cradle. It's a nice playground for the biking world and community. So we're gonna try this out. I'm just gonna ask you to please keep in mind that I don't have Jono's microphone system in my helmet, so I'm gonna try my best as possible. So anyway, guys, let's get into it. Honda DCT, fully automatic, as you guys know, no clutch at all. That thing's a handbrake, by the way. Brilliant little bike, 750cc parallel twin, and you know, it's a very all-round bike. So you know, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place at this point, between which one I prefer the most, the manual or obviously the DCT that I'm on. Personal opinion though, you know what, I'm very fond of the DCT. I tend to absolutely love the DCT. The fact that I'm riding with one hand. I'm riding the whole bike with one hand. It's doing its own thing. I do have it in standard mode at the moment, which can obviously be changed on the fly to rain. You have your own user preset mode that you can set up. You just slack off of the throttle and then that kicks in. So you got standard, you got the sport mode, which isn't too bad. You'll see this little light here tends to flash at you and scream at you and do all sorts of things. So we're just going to ride it in standard for now. It's a very docile ride, guys. It's, you know what, they've done a lot of improvements on the motor itself. There's a lot more power on this version as opposed to the previous version, which is what Shawnee used to ride. I think Sean still got it as far as I know. And you know what, they've really refined this bike. The 750 parallel twin is absolutely incredible. It's very torquey, it's very responsive. The ride-by-wire system is absolutely phenomenal, and it's a very linear. Although it's an aggressive power band, it's very linear as well. So it doesn't rip you around. Oh, joys these freaking bumps. It doesn't pull you off, if that makes sense what I'm saying. You know, you've still got enough power that it's really fun to ride, but at the same time it's not scary. It's not going to rip your arms off, it's not going to slide you back in the seat, it's not going to scare you. And then, you know, you take all of that into account, and you take into account the fuel consumption. I mean, you look now, I'm actually accelerating a little bit on an incline, and you know, it's minimal. Let's check actually quickly while we're at it. The average at the moment, and bear in mind obviously we're testing and stuff like that, so our fuel consumption is a little bit higher during test. It's sitting on 4.6. That's liters to 100. So I was lucky enough that at the beginning of the week I managed to take both bikes for a comparison on the fuel consumption and stuff like that. And I did find that the DCT is a lot more fuel economical, which would make sense, as opposed to what the manual is. And all in all, these things are seriously fuel economical. It's unreal the type of distance that you get out of the tank. It's absolutely incredible what type of distance you're getting out of these tanks, considering the amount of power that you actually realistically have on tap. It's amazing. Obviously Honda still got the boot. They have increased the size of the boot. I'm not sure how many liters in, but I know that there was there was an issue with the predecessor of some of the larger sized helmets, the shell helmets, not fitting into that, but that now accommodates that. Obviously the tank is still in the back. Comes in 4 colors. This nice blue with a silver trim and stuff like that. You guys can check it on the other footage that we've got. Comes in the red, comes in the black, and I actually can't recall, in all honesty, what the other color is. But obviously, I mean, if you're interested in this bike, you're gonna go and have a look, see at the colors. I always say it's better to look at a color in person as opposed to looking at a color on a photo or a video or something like that. It just, yeah, although we've got high definition, it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a roll on power example shortly. I've got a speed bump coming up, so after that, you know what, I'm actually going to test my theory here. So I'm in automatic, one hand's completely free, one hand on the accelerator where I kind of need it to be. That's something that Honda could actually add. Honda could, in all honesty, although it's going to skyrocket the price a little bit, they could actually put a speed control system onto this bike, which would actually just make it a little bit better. So we're just going to roll onto the power and see what it does. So there we go. You can see it's not sluggish at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over to manual. So you'll see here where it says drive. I'm going to move it over to manual. I'm in 5th gear. Let me force it into 6th. 70 k's an hour. Let's just roll onto the power and let's see. It's not bad. It's not bad. Look, obviously that's the standard settings. So I was playing with it a little bit earlier. I'm going to move it over to the user setting that I set up. So that gives me full engine power, minimal, well, medium engine braking, and then obviously my traction control is very low. 6th gear, and do we get an improvement? It looks like it's kicking off a lot better. She's picking up quite a bit. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to keep your time. They're very well priced. Take a look at them. Obviously I can't do a video like Jono does. Jono does these videos a lot better than what I do. I'm just trying my best, pretty much. That's all I'm doing. Just so that you guys can see that we are still around. We're just waiting for Jono to get settled and sorted and all of that type of stuff, and then obviously we'll get his ass back into the saddle as opposed to mine. He tends to be like 100 times better with these videos than what I do. So yeah,